Hey everyone, this is Hai here, marketing strategist for UCI Summer Session, and today's training is going to be covering storytelling as it pertains to boothing and interfacing with different students and community members when you're at a fair or other public outreach event. Particularly when it comes to storytelling, there are three factors that you want to keep in mind. One, you need to stay true to the script and the pitch and the story and the brand of the organization that you're representing. The second thing that you need to keep in mind is how are you telling your own unique story within that framework. And then the last thing is you're likely to encounter scenarios and situations where you're talking to somebody and trying to empathize and put yourself in the shoes of that person in order to serve and provide them useful either information or your own just as valuable anecdotal experience. Now, the first part, when we're talking about going over the script when it comes to representing in particular this organization, which is Summer Session, and then more specifically the special programs of Freshman Edge and Transfer Edge, you need to keep in mind this matter. Each and every person that's coming to you is not going to have the full picture as to what Summer Session is, what an early start program entails, and what the benefit is. First and foremost, you always want to lead with what the benefit is going to be with that particular person. As an example, let's say you encounter a student that has just either received their notice of admission or they have decided already to SIR to UCI. They're wondering if they're coming either from a small town, out of state, from Northern California, or even just outside of Southern California, or even if they are from here, they're leaving home for the first time and going to be at a large university. Something that you should keep in mind is when you're talking about Summer Session is that we're leading with the benefit. So what could be the benefit for this student? Could it be that they're concerned about how are they going to fit in? Maybe they came from a really large school, or maybe they came from a really small school. What you want to make sure you hit on when it comes to the core components of the story of Summer Session is that this is a safe space, this is a welcoming space, this is a program and a community that is tailored for students to make sure that by the time they start in the fall, that they're going to have all of the knowledge, all of the opportunity, and all of that social and academic support that they need to truly thrive in the rest of their time here at UCI. I hope that makes sense. The second part is, how do you tell your own unique story in relation to that larger pitch of what Summer Session's special programs are all about? First and foremost, if you are a participant and foreign participant of any of these EDGE programs, you have a treasure trove of different experiences that you can speak to. I want you to think about all of those experiences, all of those memories, all of those places that you visited, all of the people that you spoke to, all of the individuals that you connected with, whether they were faculty, community members, the leads and staff, or maybe student staff at all of the resource centers that you engaged with. What was that defining moment? What made you feel that this was something valuable for you, not only as a participant, but for you to want to come back and be a mentor and to serve other students the same way that you were served by the peers and the colleagues that you encountered when you were a student in this program. I wouldn't try to tell the entire story. I'd choose maybe 2 or 3 really bright spots that stood out for you. And you're going to have to gauge a little bit as to what this person is going to be interested in. They may not be interested in your particular anecdote until you find a way to hook them. And the way that you hook them is to just ask open questions. So for example, if they're coming to UCI and they have already SIR'd or they're just curious, you could ask them, have you ever been to a large university before? Do you know the differences between a large lecture style class versus a discussion section? Have you ever attended office hours with a faculty member instead of maybe someone that they took classes from at a community college or in their high school? Are they familiar with how student orgs on a campus works? Are they familiar with how resource centers function on a large university campus as opposed to what they may have encountered either in high school, middle school, or in their local community? These are all the different types of questions that you could ask in order to get a better idea of where this person's coming from, what is their community, family member, or whoever else they may be attending, what are they curious about in order for them to have peace of mind about the program, and how can you map and tailor your own experiences and the responses of all those anecdotal things that you've experienced to that person and serve it to them in a relevant, meaningful, concise way. We all know that with an event as large as Celebrate UCI, you're going to have a large variety of people that you're going to be interacting with, and you may feel a little bit overwhelmed, maybe a little bit intimidated. I want to tell you that that's totally normal. It's totally fine. Even with myself, public speaking and communication has been and still continues to be a muscle that I practice and build upon each and every single day, in every single email and every single communication that I have with any other human being that I come across. So this is a practice, and this training is exactly meant to help provide you a little bit of that support. And then finally, if you encounter somebody that's from a different experience, a different background, encountering a scenario that you can't directly relate to, for example, let's say a student that isn't able to or chooses not to stay on campus, you may decide that your anecdote about how being in the residence hall and all of that may not exactly fit them. It doesn't mean that you don't have a valuable experience to share, but maybe think about, was it an Inside UCI event, an Illuminations thing, something at the New Swan Theater, any other resource? Was it the tour of the KUCI building? Was it an interaction with a faculty member? Was it a university skills course that you took? Was it during the seminar? These are different ways that you can pivot the conversation, even if you encounter somebody that is dealing with a situation that you can't exactly relate to. So let's use this commuter student as an example. If their biggest concern is, if I'm not staying in the residence hall, am I really going to get the full value of the program? You can either address it from your own experience, or really think about all of the other individuals that you've encountered throughout the nature of the program, and also what you've been learning in all of your training sessions. How can you find a way to make this student feel that they're still going to get that meaningful experience, but just like anything else, you would need to preface that you get what you put into it. So if you are having to commute, it's important to relay that feedback if you're deciding to participate. And then beyond that, what are different ways for you to participate and engage in these programs, meet with other students, attend the seminars, get to know the faculty, ask about things. You may want to suggest to them it's really important to come with a list of questions of things that even if you don't know the answer to, the whole point of a program like this is to get those questions answered. Another scenario could be, hey, I'm coming from a small town and now UCI seems so large, it's intimidating, I'm not sure how I'm going to function in such a large space. I feel like I might get lost. I think that's a valid question, even if you didn't feel that way or it's been some time since you've been in the program. Really think to yourself, what would be valuable if I put myself in this person's shoes? You don't have to be the expert. They're just trying to communicate with one human, from one person to the other. You can say, for example, this was my experience. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be yours, but this is why I am here as a mentor, as a person working at this event, in order to provide my perspective and to make other students and incoming students feel comfortable with being on campus and really feel empowered to take agency in all of the different opportunities that are on this campus right when they start in the fall. Okay, well, that's everything that I have to share with you today for the training. If you have any questions, you can always contact me and I'd be glad to follow up, provide you additional materials, information, resources, and training. But I know you are all going to be fantastic and it's going to be great. Make sure, first and foremost, every single public-facing event that you attend and staff on behalf of your organization, you are not only representing yourself, but Summer Session. And Summer Session is all about fun, all about inclusion, all about student success, and all about making sure that people are empowered with information so they can make a choice that is best for them. All right, everybody, my name is Hai, Marketing Strategist for UCI Summer Session, and we'll see you next time.